Welcome back to UltiWorld's live coverage of the USAU 2019 Pro Championships. We've got yet another good one here between Washington, D.C. Truck Stop and New York PoNY. PoNY 2-0 on the day so far. Truck Stop 1-1 after a tight loss to Chicago Machine in the last round. A rematch of a semifinal game at the U.S. Open earlier this summer, Keith. Two teams that figure to be big factors in the semifinal picture at Nationals. What are you looking forward to seeing in this one?
Truck Stop's had a really successful year, but PoNY's been the team to beat, even given the results in the regular season. This is a team that has been highly anticipated. Much of the roster has been brought together for this tournament in a way that we haven't seen in their other tournaments. And so for PoNY, they're expected to win this game, and for Truck, being able to take it to this PoNY team would be the confirmation that they're a team that can win a national title this year.
You see PoNY there in white, starting on defense. Opening pull coming downfield. Looks like it is headed out of bounds, and it is. So Truck Stop in black will be going from left to right. Start in good field position offensively. It'll be Gus Norbaum picking up for Truck.
There's been a bit of a breeze coming in and out today, usually from the right to the left of your screen. Definitely giving pullers some trouble.
And an early foul from behind the throw.
That's not a great foul.
No. not the start PoNY was looking for defensively. Truck keeps the disc. Now have it on the far sideline in the hands of Tyler Monroe. That throw pops up in the air on him, but it's saved on the far sideline by Jeff Wodach. And a throw into tight coverage there, swatted away. Clark Kofer gets the layout block. Excuse me, Evan Paget with the play defensively. And so PoNY will have a chance for an early break after the layout block. And Jimmy Mickle coming onto the field for PoNY. It'll be Mickle to pick up.
Not a bad sub if you're PoNY.
Not bad at all. He completes the easy under to Michael Brenner. Jack Hatchett now with the disc. That one pops up a little bit, but it's reeled in on the far sideline. Jeff Babbitt making the play. Disc now with Sam Little. PoNY continuing to work down that far sideline. Finally able to get it off, and then the quick continue to the end zone. PoNY, after the big play defensively, work it down clean offensively, they open the game with a break.
PoNY asserting themselves early, and I think that this PoNY offensive line is stacked with elite talent. But don't forget that this defense is what carried them to a national championship last year. And Clark Kofer may not be the same resume, may not have the same resume as someone like Jimmy Mickle, but he's just one of the hard-working defenders on this team, and there gets a big block for the D-line who punches in to score, and the break to start off this one for PoNY.
And Keith, I did lead you astray there. It wasn't Kofer on the block. It was Evan Paget, rather. But nonetheless, one of the lesser-known defenders on the team making the big play. Get another look at the Truck O-line after having just been broken to start this one. And now Kofer out there defensively for PoNY.
Truck got behind against Machine in the previous round, and that loss did come back, but got the lead and gave it back up. But this has got to feel a little bit similar for them.
And an early big forehand downfield, and that is on the money. Nate Castine able to track it down for a Truck. So after the turnover on the underneath on the previous point, Truck decides to forego that for the bomb early, and it converts. Impressive throw from Nikki Spiva. Gets the quick hold for Truck, and they're on the board.
No surprise to see Spiva back in the thick of things for Truck Stop after playing with AMP and in the mixed division. Beautiful flat throw to space, easy score, exactly what you want from your O-line. Get off the field quick, get the D-line back out there.
See Truck out there in their blacks, Keith, as we get our first look at their D-line. A lot has been made of their whites this year. What do you have an opinion on the the school children drawing-esque? I really the only way I can describe it.
Ugly would be my opinion. Now that said, I really like the concept, like the conceptualization, the premise makes a lot of sense to me, but the execution I think leaves a little to be desired.
These blacks look nice, much preferred look, I think, for Truck. We see the pull from Jeremy Hess, a little short, so decent starting field position for PoNY.
We're going to revisit this topic, my friend.
Yes, yes. We'll put a pin in it for now, though, as we take a look at this PoNY O-line. Mickle going for a big forehand. That one, though, too low downfield, looking for Chris Kocher. That throw out of the hand, too low from Mickle. So a possession for Truck goes begging early. The swing goes well over the head of Max Castle. So a short field now for PoNY.
Not ideally what you want to do with your first break chance of the game.
It's Sean Keegan picking up. Grant Lindsley getting that swing off the sideline. Now with Kocher. Right back to Lindsley. Break throw from Lindsley finding Mickle. PoNY patient here in the red zone, and Lindsley cutting across the face of goal for the score. So after the huck turn from Mickle, PoNY gets it right back. They get the hold to keep their lead.
And that cross-field turnover is something that in the previous game between Truck and Machine, I think both teams struggle with. I don't know if it has to do with the wind or the way the fields are arranged, but teams have struggled hitting that cross-field swing, often overthrowing the pass. And that one was too high. Gives way too easy a look to a PoNY team that you may not get a ton of great break chances against.
Yeah, really unable to get anything at all going on that point. But as a result, the Truck O-line back out there. You see the imposing figure of Joe Freund out there for Truck, making a return to the team after playing in the mixed division last year with Washington, D.C. Space Heater. You see head coach Brian Jones coaching up his D-line. You mentioned the D-line, Keith. Jones is the mastermind behind that unit for PoNY.
It's going to be different, though, for this year. They're used to chasing. You know, having a game plan that's built up over years to chase the top teams is a lot different than trying to defend your perch when the challengers may come out of the shadows. You know? And this year, there are plenty of challengers.
A lot of new players to implement as well for PoNY. Jack Hatchett, one of those, sending the pull down out of bounds. So the pulling in this game so far has left a little to be desired. But that means good field position once again to start for Truck.
Freund has been a big addition to this Truck offense, giving a great target for Rowan McDonald and Markham Schaffner.
Pryor bringing play to a stop early in this point. Looks like he had a problem with Ben Katz's mark.
Katz and Pryor arriving at a conclusion. Reinitiating this side stack.
The reset, though, to Tyler Monroe. He gives it right back. Rowan McDonald making the grab underneath, and now Truck moving the disc quickly. Freund gets it to McDonald up the line, and McDonald looking to get it right back. Big bid from the PoNY defender down the line, but a nice throw from McDonald finds Freund in stride. And so Truck gets the clean hold, not us back up at 2.
I'm happy to sign up for more of Babbitt versus Freund. Take another look. Just gets it past. I mean, really, that was McDonald versus versus Babbitt in this situation. And McDonald used that excellent first step. Rowan is very adept at getting open in small spaces because he has such a good first step. Gets into that upline position, and that allows him to put that throw out in front where he can get it past Babbitt.
And I believe Rowan just put out a couple of videos on his YouTube channel about footwork and ultimate. So we got an early look there as one of his areas of expertise pays dividends for the Truck O-line. McDonald, of course, well known for his YouTube channel, I would say, and his tricky throws, but he's been an impressive athlete as well. Made one of the best catches, in recent memory at U.S. Open, towing the line in that semifinal game against PoNY the last time these two teams met.
Yeah, of dubious legality, but of unquestionable style.
I have long felt that there should be a universal rule in sports where if it exceeds a certain cool factor, it should count outside of the rules.
Is it kind of like, oh, the ref shouldn't have called that against me, I'll give it back?
Yes. Similar line of thinking as we see another hook, and this one on the money for Kocher.
Not quite as stylish as the kind of cool factor play you're talking about, but almost unstoppable. Mickle to Kocher on the back shoulder, no less, just to make sure an enterprising defender wasn't going to break this one up.
Mickle gets just so much power from a stance on that forehand. You see that wind up, and then just an absolute cannon downfield for Kocher. Really a pretty easy job for Kocher, tracking it down after he'd gained separation deep.
I mean, I think Jimmy Mickle is the most powerful thrower probably in the world, and maybe the most powerful thrower I've seen since Brody Smith. Just unbelievable range on the throw, and I think that challenges defenders to not only defend a larger space on the field more aggressively, but to adapt to a player who stretches the field in a way nobody else does. You get so used to defending a certain patch of field, a certain time that a cut expires when it goes deep. But with Mickle, that time's just a little bit longer, and I think that really presses on defenders' instincts because you have to fight against what you're used to.
Yeah, a speed gun isn't something that often would come into play for ultimate, but I would like to get a reading on how fast that forehand hook was from Mickle. Explosive thrower, I would say.
He's a big, strong guy, and he applies a lot of that physicality to the throw. Does a great job translating all of that power into the wrist snap and into the delivery of the disc. Again, another kind of side stack-ish look from Truck Stop, isolating Freund rather than McDonald this time.
And it's Norbaum that finds Freund with the scuba, and then an awkward grab from Christian Boxley, able to save the pass behind him.
Boxley's been having a bit of a breakout season with the Truck O-line this year.
McDonald going to float one to Freund, who'd won his matchup deep. Easy connection between those two. So after the sloppiness early from Truck, looks like they're starting to find their rhythm. Another quick, clean hold for them.
That Rowan throw works so well that I can't tell whether he meant to do it or whether it was just accidentally perfect. I mean, that just weaved through the defense here. You can see he gets past the initial poach, drops right in over the shoulder of the defense into his receiver's hands, on the breeze, no less. I mean, that is a tremendous throw, and I guess you can't call anything an accident, right? And the disc only goes where you tell it to, basically.
He is a player that has earned the benefit of the doubt, I would say, with his throwing ability. But I did see after him remiming the throwing motion. So I'm not sure it's exactly the throw he was going for, but
that one might not go on the YouTube channel. You know,
maybe not. It worked all the same though, and it looked pretty. It was fun to watch. So Truck holding pace for now. And they get to send the D-line back out there, trying to slow down that PoNY offense.
And Truck is the #1 overall seed here at this tournament. I think that many people would say that PoNY is the favorite in this game and probably to win this tournament. They're one spot higher in our power ranking, so slim margin there. But don't forget the success that this truck stop team has had this regular season. That's helped them earn that #1 spot going into the last weekend of the regular season.
You see the PoNY O back out there. Mickle, a much shorter forehand this time to Lindsley. It'll be Lindsley who airs it out. Looking for Keegan downfield. A whole cluster of players down there. No one able to come up with it. I think Keegan may be going to say he felt contact that was a foul.
Okay, say it again. Hey, y'all, there's 2 calls here, right? There's 2 calls here. Okay, so there's a foul up here and there's a foul up here, right? Yeah. Okay, so talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Take another look.
So there are 2 fouls here. So you have to watch Ben Yacht first, who I think maybe trips himself. I got to side with Truck here. I think that Keegan did get hit after the play had already been completed. I don't know that he had a chance. Let's see what the observers have to say.
When I thought on this play, I thought I did contact you, but I thought it was after everyone else.
Okay, so would you like? Let's start with this one. Would you like to contest this one and send it back, or would you like to come to me for a ruling for this one right here? This one where it was all in the middle together.
I would probably prefer to sure, go there.
Okay, so my ruling here is no foul. Okay, we got to come to here now. Do you want to come to me for ruling, or do you want to contest and send it back?
I thought
I think you were. I'm saying like this guy fouled me.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, and you don't think that was a foul?
This one down here is no foul. So we come to here. Hang on, come to here.
I mean,
Do you want to contest and send this one back, or do you want to come to me? My ruling, it is a foul. Okay, so let's give you your disc on the goal line, okay? Where's the disc?
Keith heard from the observer there, disagreeing with what you saw.
Yeah, I guess I can see it, but I think Keegan maybe it was a little given away that he maybe shouldn't have gone to the observer, because the observer said this one where it was all in the middle, and I was like, well, maybe that's a sign he's not going to go your side, but Keegan takes his chances anyway. They end up with a disc. Now PoNY gets the score. The sideline's going to be pretty confused. I can hear confusion on the sideline because it's very unclear what just happened, but odd series of events.
Yeah, I myself, who had, the whole conversation, my ears a little bit confused.
I mean, it's very clear to me on replay that Ben Yacht trips himself. I don't think it's nearly as clear live action because you just see feet together and then Yacht goes down.
And you'll see the hand on the back of Yacht, which I think, Yacht was clearly arguing is what caused the trip. But I also would say, I think it would be as great as Yacht is in those spots. It'd be hard to argue that he would, have had a real play at that disc with the way it was tailing away from him.
I agree. Let you decide at home here. I mean, you can see Yacht clips his own heel. I mean, I think that's the source there. But ultimately, I actually would go back because so now we're focused on the results of this play when I actually think you want to focus on the process, which is I don't know that I like Grant Lindsley's choice to throw a jump ball to Sean Keegan versus Eric Miner, significantly taller defender, often guarding big men. I think it's easy to get lost in that one. But
yeah, I was going to bring up the same thing before the lengthy discussion between the players and observer there.
I mean, really, PoNY kind of got bailed out.
Yes. And that pull going well out of bounds. So the poor pulling continues. It's Pryor once again starting the possession offensively for Truck. McDonald has made his influence felt early, catching that under, giving it right back. Wodach getting it back to Pryor. And a layout block right on the end zone. Not sure it would have been caught by McDonald anyway. Low pass looking for the score. So now the Pony D-line takes over.
Conrad Schloer getting that block, and he's been tasked with chasing around McDonald. Schloer, workhorse defender for this team, and I think someone that Pony really wants to develop into a true stopper on defense.
And Schloer showed flashes of that last season, too. A player this Pony staff really values defensively, and as a result, Pony now with a chance to get another break. And in fact, Schloer was Defensive Player of the Year runner-up last year for the club season. You see Babbitt getting it off the sideline to Little. Throw into pressure. That one knocked away. Truck taking back over. Impressive O-line defense. And as a result, Pryor gets the pick back up around midfield.
Poach in the lane from Pony.
McDonald bringing it over to Pryor.
Pretty stagnant downfield from Pony. They're really relying on the handlers in the front of the stack to go to work right now.
And Monroe saved on the big bid by McDonald. And then McDonald saved as well. Truck not making it look easy. But they do get the hold in the end. Wodach wide open. Finally an easy completion for Truck after a series of near turnovers.
Yeah, Lloyd Blake not going to get on the stat sheet for that one. Even with more advanced stats, only going to get a touch. But making a critical play, saving that scoober from McDonald.
You see the run-through block by Markham Schaffner to get the disc back.
McDonald with the save first and decides to pass it on. With the scoober, and Blake with a just catch from behind. Probably had no right to.
Yeah, which catch is more impressive to you there, Keith?
I guess Blake's catch probably slightly harder. I mean, it's McDonald got the layout. It's the fancier catch, but I think it was a very makeable layout catch. Like, I'm not trying to underrate it or anything.
Right, both
No
impressive
shade,
plays.
no
yes,
shade.
yes. But yeah, the hand-eye coordination to save the second pass.
Plus, it was upside down. You know, it was a tough catch. Pony getting this vaunted O-line back to work, and having added Yacht to the line, Yacht has been a terror even in his brief presence this season.
Hensley stepping around the mark to find Koch underneath. Kocher, I think he was looking for Mickle downfield. Throw was too low, and Yacht was there to save it underneath.
Yacht's always looking for Yacht.
Mickle finding Kocher once again.
Pick call's going to stop play.
Disc with Kocher. Mickle hitting Lindsley on the far sideline. Lindsley again stepping under that mark as he did earlier in the point. This time finding Keegan in the end zone for the score. So again, really pretty impressive defense from Truck, but the Pony offense enough firepower to work their way through it and get the clean hold.
Remember that wasted early D-line opportunity from Truck? I mean, they have not been able to get the disc out of Pony's hands since. At least not the O-line's hands, I should say. Although they got the help of some dubious foul calls. Regardless, you can see why this Pony O-line can be so incredibly efficient, and they can take you off the field very fast. And you really can't afford to waste quality opportunities when you get them.
Well, they're basically an all-star team offensively, it feels like, especially with the addition of Lindsley out there. I mean, have added some of the biggest names and biggest offensive weapons to that side of the disc the last couple of seasons. So definitely a tough matchup for any defense out there.
Nice for the D-line to be able to keep the chip on their shoulder. Like, oh, everybody only talks about our O-line, PoNY, Jimmy Mickle. So even though they won a title by destroying the most well-respected, well-decorated team of our generation in the men's division, the D-line can still act like they're disrespected.
It's Ben Spielman on the pull.
I don't think this one's staying in bounds either.
No, he has been on pulling duty, but has not had a good day in that regard. A lot of these pony pulls sailing well out of bounds. That one never had a chance.
These things really add up. I mean, the giving up poor field position, not being able to put any pressure on the offense.
Big bid from Kofer coming up just short as McDonald makes the play underneath. Lloyd Blake brings it to Boxley. He cuts back across to get it once again. Now going downfield, looking for Monroe, but that's easily intercepted. Blake forcing that throw to the end zone leads to the early and easy turnover. Spielman making that completion. PoNY trying to work it out of their own territory. Kofer with it on the near sideline.
PoNY's defense right now is chasing and being urged on by the sideline. Truck has to catch up.
Throw to the end zone, well out the back. Not the throw that Milo Snyder was looking for. Looked like he was trying to find his teammate in the back of the end zone, but really just no one there to make the play. McDonald with it now for Truck. Their second possession of the point.
Horizontal stack from Truck Stop, and watch for PoNY to keep trying to look for opportunities to switch, to poach the lane. They can make a lot of complexity, they can bake a lot of complexity, I should say, into what otherwise looks like simple matchup defense through the way that they play team defense. I think that's really the heart of this D-line's capabilities.
McDonald checking it back in. Able to sweep that one to Pryor. Freund with plenty of space. Pryor to Norbaum, back to Pryor. Tough throws from Truck. Working it down into the end zone, and Pryor makes the grab for the score.
McDonald making tough throws look easy, though. I mean, that is a throw that was very skillful. But Rowan just depositing it there at the front cone for Pryor. See the overthrown Huck. Really no chance for the receiver. Meeser had no real look at that. And then the quick release. Backhand to the forehand side, past the defender coming on.
You got a great look at that one from our end zone cam, how tight of a window that was that McDonald hit. I mean, really no margin of error on that throw. On the money. But so far, Keith, 5-5, but I think you definitely have to give the edge to the PoNY defense so far. Seems like Truck really having to work a lot harder for their holds. Would you agree with that assessment?
I do, and I think Truck's defense hasn't gotten a ton of traction yet against PoNY. They've gotten some errors out of them, but haven't been able to capitalize. We'll see if they can find a way to make some adjustments to take this PoNY O-line out of their rhythm a little bit.
Hess sending down the pull. Looks like we have an offsides call that'll bring it back. I think Truck will be okay with that. Not the best pull there from Hess. Short and low, no hang time. Looked like PoNY was about to have a few free throws to start their possession there.
Hess getting another look at this now. Kind of an advantage here for Hess, like you mentioned, and we're likely to see the rules change on that front the next edition, giving the offense the ability to decline the offsides, so to speak.
That always has been kind of an obvious quirk in the rule that a team can be rewarded for making a mistake. So I think would be a welcome change in the next set of rules. It's Lindsley with the disc. Fakes the big backhand, settles for the under to Yacht.
Well-timed undercut from Yacht off that deep cut from Keegan.
And now Keegan airing it out. Mickle in the area, he goes up. Couple of Truck defenders, but no chance in the air against Jimmy Mickle. He goes up strong, and another quick hold for PoNY.
Against many other receivers, Keegan's probably frustrated that he threw that, but to Mickle, you could see the Truck defenders had already almost given up by the time they realized who they were trying to stop in the deep space, particularly two of Truck's smallest D-line guys. And you could just see the body language from the defenders. Mickle goes up big with one hand, does what he does.
Yeah, you saw the frustration there from the defenders in the area before Mickle had even made the catch. We've seen his power throwing ability already, but also just one of the best athletes in the game. An absolute force downfield. And really, I mean, when he is at his best, is just the best player out on the field almost all the time. I mean, he made that one look easy, and as you mentioned, Keith, really just not a great throw from Keegan, but
I think he would be many people's #1 draft pick if you were building a team of men to play Ultimate. If you needed your Space Jam team to defend us from the aliens, I mean, I feel like in many cases, Jimmy Mickle will be the first guy you sign up.
Another just disappointing pull for PoNY. That is one area where they have not impressed in this game. So it will be a very short field this time for Truck Stop, and it'll be...
They're getting progressively worse, I think.
Yeah. The pulling has definitely not been great, and it'll be a very short field. The best starting field position yet off of the pull for Truck. Schaffner goes for the easy reset to Norbaum and gets it right back. Norbaum cut strike, the quick continue to McDonald. Schaffner cut strike, clearly out of bound, or clearly out of the end zone, excuse me. And they're able to find Freund, who worked his way through the defense. So PoNY really putting themselves behind the 8-ball there with the very short pull. Truck able to capitalize, get the clean hold.
Just a front cone score for Freund, and the offenses both seem like they're in rhythm now, although, Truck's getting all this help from the PoNY pulling. Norbaum, I think, could, if he continues to sort of level up his game, be a piece that could help unlock this Truck O-line as kind of their primary reset handler. I think he could be a player that, as he continues to grow, could really help develop this O-line and keep a player like Nicky Spiva, who we see on this D-line, able to stick with this defensive unit. Spiva, a star and one of our players to watch. He was on that first next-gen All-Star tour. So Nashville, Tennessee, played at the Nashville school, Brutal Grassburn, back in high school. Played with the World Games team as well. Was also an alternate in 2013, I believe.
See Spiva on pulling duty here for the Truck D-line. He's not had a huge impact in this game, largely because the truck stop D-line has not been able to get the disc much.
Yeah, he came out for that O-line point, threw an easy assist, and hasn't got touched since, I don't think.
And Mickle going for the big backhand this time, looking for Yacht. And another easy, deep connection. You see Christian Johnson turns to his defense, asks, what was that? Easy hold for PoNY on the big throw from Mickle, finding his tall cutter downfield for the easy score.
You know, when you talk about player evaluation and you think about a player like how many goals are they worth? I mean, Jimmy's worth one of those at least a game, right? Just a free, unstoppable huck, especially when he's got a target like Yacht. Mickle just putting it out in front of Yacht, and it sits perfectly, steps around the mark, and Yacht, who's just been a monster, even in just a day's worth of club season play. Very impressive performance here. He was he was much talked about as a potential all-club player last year in their championship run, but his only Ulti-World accolade is as a second-team All-American in college in 2017. I don't think that's going to stand for long.
Yeah, I remember the conversations last year, and it kind of just got to the point where it's like, well, can we really put another PoNY guy in here?
I think he was the first guy off.
Yes. And, you know, a lot was discussed after PoNY lost to Seattle Sockeye in the U.S. Open final earlier this summer. You know, of course, did not have Yacht there. Questions about, you know, how much better would this PoNY team look with him back on the field? And I think we're getting a glimpse of the answer to that question here in this one.
I saw it written somewhere that he's 6'8". Do you think he's really 6'8"? I don't know that I buy that.
I think he's probably pretty close.
Okay.
I mean, he's a tall guy.
He's got to be done growing because he was 6'6" the last time I checked. That was like maybe a couple years ago. It's like Giannis out here.
Yeah, still a relatively young player, though. Definitely a downfield weapon, regardless of that exact measurement. You see Monroe unable to hang on to that disc. Tight pressure defensively from Little. Monroe got his hands to it. A little bit of contact and couldn't hang on through it. No foul called.
That is a pressure turnover. If Little isn't hot in pursuit, Monroe's making that catch every day of the week.
And Kocher has been pulled over to the D-line as PoNY is looking for this break to take half. It's Little getting the pass from Kocher, now looking for the reset. Gets it in Schloer and then gets it right back.
Schloer taking off for this huck, but it's beyond his reach.
Couldn't track down the big backhand from Jack Hatchett.
PoNY D-line struggling to connect on the deep shots in this first half.
So truck stop will try to take advantage of the second opportunity. Fryer has been a mainstay in that truck backfield all season, picking up. Looks like we have a stoppage downfield that'll bring play to a halt.
Coming out 5.
Well, we missed the majority of that conversation, but we know that the stall is coming back in on 5. And a big backhand looking for McDonald, but this one is going to be out of bounds the whole way. So will be a short field for PoNY.
Not a great point for Tyler Monroe. Throwing from this low side of the field, although the wind has died down a bit, throwing from this low side is going to be a tough proposition from that front cone.
It's Katz starting things for PoNY the other way. Hatchett, big step out to break the mark. And the quick continue to the end zone. Schloer finding his target there for the score, Joshua Steven Stein. PoNY breaks for half. And just like that, all of a sudden, they're up 2 goals. Nice little cushion going into the halftime break.
You can't give up the disc in that kind of field position to this PoNY defense. They start the half with a break. They end the half with a break. they'll get the disc to start the second half. Truck potentially in a world of trouble.
Another look at that huck turn from Monroe, looking for McDonald. And really, just no chance.
And it wasn't like McDonald had a ton of separation. He was going to have to sky Schloer, even if that had stayed in bounds.
So not the execution Truck would have been looking for on that final point. As I said, PoNY will go into the break up a pair. Still plenty of ultimate left in this one, though. Second half coming up just on this other side of this short halftime. Truck will try to get back on the right track, get back in this one. For now, though, PoNY up 8-6. Jay Frood, what an incredible layout catch. On Freechild, and Frood comes down with it. And Mickle goes up.
Sharper rocketing a backhand, looking for Monroe. Monroe chasing after it.
PoNY up 8-6 after the first half. They will be on offense to start the second, so a strong position for the defending national champions. Not the most thrilling of halves, though, Keith. Both teams kind of grindy at points. The defense is not really doing a whole lot.
I mean, it's a great half if you like offense. And you
Sure.
hate pulling.
Yeah. If
you wish they would eradicate pulling for the game from the game, then
well, both teams making a pretty strong case for it right now with the way they've been pulling.
I mean, I've heard the argument that they should get rid of kickoffs from football, which I am pro. Not the same case here for pulling, but
No, you can't take pulling out of the game. Good pulling really does make a big difference. You see Thorne catching that pull.
and a solid pull there from Max Castle, I believe.
Keegan swinging to Kocher. Kocher underneath to Yacht. Back with Thorne now. Powerful cut from Mickle. Just no chance for the defender to keep up with him. Fake from Keegan. It sends his mark to the ground. But really, just an unforced throwaway from Lindsley. Not sure what the problem was there. But right when it looked like the offense was imposing its will against Truck, Lindsley coughs it up. So we see Truck trying to bring it out of their own end zone now. Finally are able to do so. Now a big huck from David Shields going downfield. Mickle, though, not sure why he would be the one you test deep downfield. He wins in the air over Eric Miner for the block. So PoNY taking back over.
I like the shot, though. I like Truck coming out and taking a shot at the end zone here.
So now after the block, it's Mickle picking up for PoNY. Able to get it through the middle of the defense. Lindsley with it once again, and PoNY working quickly through this Truck defense. There, and the quick throw to the end zone. So once they get it back, easy offense for PoNY. They get the score. Billy Dean caps it off with the goal.
Truck trying to, I think, transition into some sort of junk defense after the Huck turnover, and PoNY just picked up all the momentum by slicing right through it to start. Truck's defense never able to catch up, so it's uncontested basically the rest of the way for the PoNY score.
We mentioned, Keith, that Truck didn't have many break chances at all in the first half. The ones they had, they were wasteful with. Really gifted an opportunity there to start this half that could have gotten them back in this game a little bit. They're not super far down on the scoreboard at the moment, but it kind of feels like they're in danger a little bit of this game getting out of hand, because I think maybe the scoreboard is a little closer than the game has felt. But they're very wasteful with the break chance. Jimmy Mickle able to steal it back.
Well, I mean, they have yet to get a break in this game. They've gotten 2 turnovers out of the PoNY O-line, both of which were suspect. I mean, Lindsley just threw that one away, and the earlier one was a Mickle huck that he overshot. So it doesn't feel like their defense has really gained a lot of traction, and their offense is giving PoNY a couple of looks at breaks.
Another impressive pull from PoNY. We're starting to clean that aspect of the game up. And if Pryor looking deep, it was deflected early, and that threw the trajectory off on the huck from Pryor. Schaffner unable to adjust and save it. So now PoNY with a chance to add to their lead. It's Katz swinging it to the middle. Little finding Babbitt. Disc now with Schloer. Hatchett going to bend a big forehand to the far side, the open side. Babbitt all alone over there. PoNY gets the easy break there. We just mentioned a little bit ago, it felt like Truck was maybe in danger of letting this one get away from them. PoNY gets the break, and that's their biggest lead of the game.
not an ideal start to the second half for DC, and their defense was really in chase on that possession. Boxley, because he's chasing and because his teammates have been chasing, over pursues to the wrong side of the field, and that opens up just a cross-field throw to Babbitt. That's how an offense can continue to capitalize and build on the advantage, cut after cut after cut. So we see the deflected turnover from Pryor.
It was Hatchett in the middle of the field, able to react to that one and get just a fingertip on it to throw the throw off.
Hatchett, one of the new additions to the PoNY team.
Coming over from Boston Dig after several years with the now defunct Boston Ironside, member of that national championship team in 2016. Truck offense out there once again trying to figure out this PoNY D-line that has been giving them some trouble these last couple of points.
PoNY mixing up the looks with some junk and now trying to transition after a bit of a jailbreak for the Truck D-line playing offense.
Nice throw from Troy Holland finding Jackson Cochran. So the rotated O-line for Truck is able to punch it in and stop the PoNY run. Much improved offense from DC.
Yeah, who's really the O-line, says the D-line. Holland with a nice throw to space for Cochran. Well executed, and to be fair, the D-line did get a little bit of a different look thrown at them, which they quickly punctured. And it's going to be on this D-line to get Truck back into this game. They know that the onus is on them, and across from them is basically like an all-club team.
Right. Yeah, the star-studded O-line of PoNY. I mean, how many players do they have from the World Games team?
3, right?
Yeah, I believe so. If Grant Lindsley was on the team as well, I mean, you have Mickle and Kocher and Lindsley. So, I mean, that's not too shabby, huh? Just to have 3 World Games players on one line together for your club team.
No, it's not bad at all.
And so far,
you might call it revolver-esque.
Yes. And Bo Kittredge as well, not out there on the line at the time, but was also on that team. So really just an embarrassment of riches all across the roster here for PoNY. And it's a big reason why they came into the season as heavy favorites to defend their national title. Crafty break throw from Keegan. The quick release to get it over the shoulder of the mark. And an easy backhand from Kocher to Mickle. Mickle marked by Spiva. That's a fun matchup.
A little bit of chaotic cutting for PoNY right now.
Yacht was wide open, though, and then he throws the hammer to the back corner for Lindsley. He goes up with one hand. Makes it look easy making that grab is Lindsley. So Truck still can't quite throw a big enough wrench into that PoNY O-line. They get another clean hole to maintain this 4-goal lead.
Lindsley's hands are really underrated as a receiver. He makes a lot of really difficult catches. This is not easy. I mean, there's a defender coming on, go up with one hand on the hammer. But many, many times, Grant Lindsley's come down with throws like that. And the Carlton Cut alum, his first year with PoNY, has established himself as an elite threat in the men's division, and now just joining on to the champions, Kevin Durant style.
you can't beat him, join him, as the old saying goes.
I hope all of his teammates give him a hard time about it.
See PoNY back out there. Their D-line has had far more success than Truck's. It'll be Hatchet once again on the pole for the men in white.
He might have done it.
He does. He keeps the pole inbounds. Caught by Pryor. Schaffner going long, looking for McDonald. McDonald loses it. Unable to track the disc over the off shoulder. Kind of a tough read for him with the disc going over his head. But McDonald does apologize to his thrower for the misread, and so PoNY will have the full field to go, but they do have possession.
Yeah, I think he may have lost that one in the sun.
We are in the middle part of the day here, just outside of Philadelphia.
Cats stuck as the stall count comes up, but
finds a wide open player in the middle of the defense in Paget. And Cats slings it to the far sideline, and now a big hook going up. Babbitt, the target. He goes up big, and he goes up strong. Jeff Babbitt reels it in. PoNY goes the full field. They tack on another break. Again, really starting to pull away from Truck here. Big gap now, up 5.
Big, he goes up big, goes up strong. I mean, can Babbitt go up any other way? I don't know if he can go up with a lot of nuance. But not the guy you want to see streaking deep for a hanger. And Wodach already having to try and catch up to the play. Again, I think that Truck has struggled to play defense in transition. Their O-line has really had a difficult job and really has been chasing a lot. And PoNY able to make them pay with the hook to Babbitt that initiates a timeout.
So strong run here from PoNY, and Truck calls a timeout. They will try to stop the bleeding. Be back in just a moment. PoNY up big here, going on a strong run here in the second half, now up 12-7 over Truck Stop. Keith, are you surprised at all by this? I mean, both teams ranked in the top 3 in our power rankings. The two teams, as we've mentioned, matched up in the semifinals of the U.S. Open earlier this year. PoNY did win that one. It was a much closer game. This one has started to turn a little ugly for Truck Stop. Has that surprised you at all?
I think that particularly in the context of Truck Stop's struggle in the previous round against an admittedly talented Machine team, it's a little concerning. I mean, I think this is PoNY starting to assert themselves against the field more than Truck falling away, but I think that we expected a little bit more out of Truck. They still have a chance to show it. They still have a weekend to figure it out, but back-to-back losses is not exactly what you anticipate from a team of this quality.
You see the offense back out there trying to solve this PoNY defense. That won't get it done. Ben Spielman with the point block on Rowan McDonald. So PoNY taking over with a short field. disc with Kofer. He's looking for a reset. He gets it to Spielman, who's the man responsible for Pony's possession of the disc.
Back-to-back turnovers for Rowan McDonald. Misread the huck on the previous offensive point, and here hand blocked.
Disc back in play now. Spielman marked by McDonald, able to get it around. Milo Snyder, he's going to give it right back. Tyler Haskell just inbounds. Possession saving grab on the far sideline. Snyder with the swing to Spielman. And once again, play comes to a stop downfield. Pony trying to grind their way to another break.
I mean, this feels like the put-away goal. If they can do it here, truck stop going to be in a deep hole.
Yeah, I'm not so sure the last break didn't feel like the put-away goal, but this one I think certainly would be if it wasn't. Definitely going to be hard to come back from a 13-7 deficit.
Continuation because it's not affecting the play. I understand, but that had nothing to do with him catching the disc, did it?
I don't know if I have it.
I mean, you guys can play it here if you like. I'm just saying, you can play it here if you like.
What's the rule?
The rule is it's only gonna come back if it affected the play on the disc. Like,
Break me after I stop marking. I have no idea.
all right, we'll stay here. Coming on 6. Sound good? Everyone likes it. Coming on 6.
Some confusion there about whether the call of the timeout affected the play or not. The disc stays with Spielman, and he ends up giving it to Lamar. Lamar stepping to break the mark. Impressive throw from Matt Lamar to find Snyder. So Pony does punch in the break. They are steamrolling truck here in the second half.
Bit of a tricky throw there from Lamar, who looked like he might be lining up a different target, and then throws it beyond that for the score. I think the confusion on that restarting of play is something that we're seeing a couple times today, which is, does stopping because of the call count as it affecting the play? I think that may have been the source of the debate. But either way, a tough run for truck stop right now. McDonald having a tough game as well. But, I mean, this is the force of Pony. And I feel like they're going to get better from here. This is kind of putting the division on notice in a way. Like, it's time to step up. We're really here.
Well, it's just so tough when they can send out that all-star team on offense that it's going to count on to get holds, you know, almost on a metronome. And then defensively, they can send out a couple lines that are just going to make, you know, everything a nightmare for you offensively. I mean, there aren't many teams that are going to be able to weather that storm over the course of a game, and truck stop has clearly not been able to do that here in the second half.
And this game's an upset by the seedings, but I don't think most people would have expected this one to go completely differently and not in the final win-loss column. But there are a couple of upsets brewing here in Philadelphia right now. Let's see, Nightlock taking half 8-6 on Phoenix in the women's division. How about this one? Sixers up 8-5 on Brute Squad. So some surprises on that end. Double wide down 8-6 to Sub-Zero in the men's division. Machine with a narrow lead on Dig. So plenty going on here in Philly. You can follow along at ultiworld.com/live.
And it seems that upsets, or at least upset bids, are going to be the theme here today as we see a throw into triple coverage leading to a turnover. Holland the intended target, but with 3 Pony defenders in the area, easily swatted away.
Schlor gets his second block of the game.
Stevens Stein coming underneath. He gets it to Meeser. Cat's been ever present on the disc for this D-line offense. Gets a pair of resets in quick succession. He floats it to Little.
Little, another player on this PoNY line that I think people were talking about as a potential all-club player last year. Being able to put him on the defense gives them a lot of bite after the turn.
Hot one from Schloer behind the intended target. So a rare miscue from PoNY, going to give the disc back.
And they've gone the previous 4 possessions without turning the disc. Now, Truck's D-line trying to get things going.
Big fake backhand. Christian Johnson pretty open underneath. Going to go back to the reset to Shields. Shields going downfield. Easy block. Turns into a not so easy block for Schloer, but it's still a turnover. Meeser there to finish it off.
That's the 5th Huck turnover of the half for Truck Stop, who's really struggled to get the deep game going here in this second half against this stifling PoNY defense.
And PoNY will call a timeout to set up their second possession of the point. And it just really feels like, you know, in a personnel matchup case, Keith. Truck Stop has just felt, you know, like the loser in almost every individual matchup in this game. I mean, to me, it hasn't felt like any player for Truck has been able to step up and make a play or two to get them back in this game. And even when they were working their way to holds in the first half, it felt like a real slog for them, you know, that nothing was coming easy.
Agreed. And I think that their stars have been mostly pretty quieted. You know, we haven't seen a lot of Spiva, haven't seen Rowan really get going. He had a couple of high points in the first half, but struggled in the second half. Tyler Monroe had a tough point earlier in the second half. We haven't really seen him get clicking. And, you know, I think when Truck looks back at this game, they're going to feel like, hey, if those guys play well, it's a very different story. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit back to the drawing board after this one, barring a miracle turnaround. But I'll tell you what, it is gotten pretty warm out here. It's probably like getting close to 80 degrees, maybe 81 or so. And there's not a lot of cloud cover. So that heat, I think, is really going to tire out teams. And you can get in the danger zone if your O-line has to stay out there for a run or as long as they had to against PoNY. And I think that's kind of what's led to the gap being really blown open.
We see an unforced turnover coming back the other way from PoNY. The swing to the far sideline sails out of bounds. So now a pretty short field for Truck. And it's Spiva to start things offensively. He brings it to Holland in the middle. Caught underneath by Shields. Oh, and intercepted right at the front of the end zone by Hatchett. Explosive defensive play, and now an explosive throw downfield looking for Schloer. Well played, though, by Spiva. The body there to maintain positioning. Gets the easy interception in the end.
I'm sure he's relieved to earn it back after a pretty poor red zone turnover on Spiva's part. Just a very casual backhand into the space. Hatchett gobbled it up. And that maybe getting Spiva a little amped up in response as he chases down the Huck.
And a little gassed there from Spiva as Truck calls a timeout. They will try to sort things out offensively. Take a break. Be right back.
Every time we press the lights, we play better. Let's go, take down the trail.
An Ultiworld subscription gets you closer to the players and personalities you care about with game video, in-depth written and video analysis,
He's going to take off deep, but what he does is very simple.
documentary shorts,
And we've played Brute Squad before, and it just feels a little bit harder to lose this year.
and a whole lot more. To get your subscription or learn more, go to ultiworld.com/subscribe.
Coming to a close here to this one in the third round at the Pro Championships between New York Pony and Washington, D.C. Truck Stop. This one has not been the game we'd hoped, but there's plenty of exciting action already this weekend. Still 2 days left after today. Still 2 rounds left to today. So be sure to stay tuned to ultiworld.com/live all weekend long. Labor Day weekend, a great weekend for sports in general. And the Pro Championships, an exciting conclusion to the ultimate regular season. Certainly a part of that. Should be a fun weekend here in the Philadelphia area. Sorry, go ahead, Keith.
The final sanctioned ultimate here, but don't forget about that Labor Day tournament from the West Coast, pulling away Revolver and Sockeye.
I'm guessing, though, as we see Truck get a rare, clean hold outside of the timeout, able to work it down pretty effortlessly. This one will finish, though, after that West Coast tournament. I do assume that it's only 2 days long, of course, this one ending on Monday.
Cochran with the outside in forehand for Christian Johnson, a little talked about addition to the Truck Stop team, who still seems like he's trying to find his way. They're coming over back to the East Coast after a couple of years with the Revolver. He seems a little like he hasn't quite integrated yet with the team. So a work in progress. When considering especially that most of this Truck Stop talent is kind of homegrown, a lot of AC area college guys, mostly coming from programs that people don't know much about. I think that's kind of one of the fun things about this Truck Stop team. You had guys from Mary Washington, George Washington, are there other Washingtons from Georgetown? A lot of schools that maybe are not big national programs, but are feeding good talent. Obviously, Maryland's another one for them into this Truck Stop team.
And Keith, you mentioned the West Coast tournament. It is, that was a big story in the women's division last season. This year, all the women's teams are here, but you mentioned a couple of big men's teams not here. Does that change, what you can take away from this tournament? Pony has looked very strong, but obviously, Sockeye here, the team that beat them in the U.S. Open final. I mean, does that change your perception of the weekend in general?
It just puts a little doubt. You can't quite say this team whoever wins this is the championship favorite, because Sockeye may be occupying that position. It's some combination of either Sockeye or Pony, I would say. So without that proof, we still get to wonder a little bit. But the competition level here is high, so putting on strong performance is still going to do a lot to boost your reputation.
What a grab from Keegan. How did he grab that one and toe the line? Oh, I guess he didn't. I thought I saw the observer.
It was too good to be true, Daniel.
Yes. Heroic effort from Keegan, though. Got awfully close. Just couldn't quite keep the toe in bounds. Errant throw from Thorne leading to the turnover, though. Now we have a travel called on Truck coming back the other way.
It's a small sample size. It's only 3 0 points in the second half, but 2 red zone turnovers from Pony's O-line in the second half out of three times that they've caught out here. So not ideal. Something to work on. I'm sure they will, if they're looking for things to work on. This coaching staff's going to find them on the tape.
And to be fair to them, it's probably hard for them to have really had much of a rhythm in the second half, as they've been on the sideline for so much of it. As we see a deep shot going downfield, knocked away at the last second. So once again, Truck struggling to find success in the deep game, as we see Yacht running that one down and swatting it away at the last second.
Yeah, the deep game really, like you said, has betrayed Truck Stop. That throw leaving something to be desired, even if Yacht had not been as hard-working on defense as he was.
Mickle with a laser backhand, but too low for Yacht, unable to really maximize his height advantage down there. Had to go up with a tough bid. Impressive defense from Hess in the area for Truck.
Hess has had a pretty sizable role on this Truck defense today. pulling, but also just getting a lot of run. They're able to make a big play against one of the best offensive players in the game. Truck able to get it out of their own end zone with a throw ahead to Hess.
Yeah, it's Hess with the disc now, but throwing a lazy reset, easily swatted away by Yacht, and then an easy little dink from Keegan to Kocher for the score. Curse of the commentator there, perhaps, for Hess. Right as we praise him, he throws an easy turnover. So the PoNY offense, maybe a little cold, a little rusty out there after not spending a whole lot of time on the field this half, but they do get the hold in the end, put them on the brink of an emphatic victory here over Truck.
I'm sure they are glad to be in the tent as we see that just the struggles on the deep game here. Max Castle trying to put the forehand out. Rico Johnson gets a good look at it, but a tough play either way. Hess able to get the block, but he taketh away, but he also giveth. Not quite how the saying goes, but seems more applicable in this situation. Maybe it's Yacht who giveth and taketh away in this case.
Well, really, Yacht just taketh away a couple times in that point after getting the block deep. And then from there, after the second one, the quick score for the hold for PoNY. So PoNY, I mean, really hasn't even been their best, it doesn't feel like. Still a big, big lead over Truck. As you mentioned, Keith, I mean, offensively, you know, they have had their miscues.
There are definitely some things to clean up. I think that they've had a couple just missed looks. I mean, there's been some nice defense from Truck Stop at points, but these red zone turnovers have just kind of been throwaways. That lack of focus could be a problem for a PoNY team that has gotten themselves in some really close scrapes historically.
Freund pops that one in the air, looking for Boxley. A lot of contact there. Looks like Box is going to call the foul. Not sure if he really had a play at that one. Kind of an odd throw from Freund.
Yeah, Bob.
So I didn't have a play? Okay.
Okay, retract the call, retract the call. Just be careful with the space, y'all. 20 seconds. Hey, good spirit, man.
Box beat me to it. I mean, I don't think there's any way that he probably could have kept that in bounds and made a play on it.
And ultimately, he acknowledged that, rescinding the foul call. And again, another deep shot goes begging for Truck, so PoNY will have a chance to break before that interception. Easy catch block there by Norbaum. Truck still sending the big names out there offensively. You see McDonald now. And get to Pryor a little bit further down the line. McDonald just outside the end zone. And Schaffner gets lost in the back corner. Patient there from Schaffner, seeing the defender inching away to the shorter throw. McDonald finds him. So Truck does get the hold to stay in the game a little bit longer after the really gimme turnover right back from PoNY.
That's a dangerous duo to have in the front corner of the end zone. I mean, Schaffner stays on the open side basically this entire time that Rowan has the disc, just daring him to throw one of his wild throws. Schaffner's maybe I'm giving the I would do it if it were me. I bet you won't. Rowan finally sneaks one by to Schaffner. And you mentioned sending out the O-line. I mean, I think that this Truck offense feels like they have things to work on, particularly against a team that has as much defensive prowess as PoNY. You don't get a lot of chance to get good reps like that. And I feel like this O-line feels like, hey, we've got to work on the things that we're going to get better at so that we can be where we need to be come the end of the season.
And one thing I do want to mention for PoNY is they have, mostly been so impressive, but have had some offensive struggles. No Harper Garvey for them in this game. He has been on the sideline, of course, one of their big playmakers offensively. So still, PoNY not even at full strength out there. Still able to put together this so far dominant performance.
Maybe they'll just never be a complete team. Maybe they're just taking turns.
And maybe they'll win a championship anyway. They certainly have players to spare in terms of talent to have a chance at winning a championship. They haven't looked too phased by not having Garvey out there in this one anyway. See Keegan able to squeeze it to Lindsley. Chuck trying to keep PoNY pinned deep, but there's finally the release on the under to Yacht. He's going for a big backhand, looking for Thorne. Thorne goes up, emphatic grab, emphatic way to end it over Kevin Versteeg. Nice play by Thorne to high point that one. PoNY runs away with it in the end. Big 15-9 win over DC.
Oh, Versteeg's going to want that one back. I mean, he had a great chance to size it up, but I think he just took the wrong line going behind Thorne. All credit to Thorne for holding a strong line the whole way through. But that was a bit of a jump ball from Yacht. Speculative, I should say. But Thorne rewards him with the sky, and PoNY rewarding their fans with a big emphatic win over Truck Stop. I mean, this is the statement we were looking for from PoNY.
And in a way, it almost felt like they barely broke a sweat out there. I mean, they clearly were playing tremendous defense, but you know, there weren't really a whole lot of times out there for PoNY where the offense really felt like it was being shut down by Truck. So a strong performance from the defending national champs. They improved to 3-0 on the day. Truck Stop falls to 1-2. Big win for PoNY as they look to defend not only their national title, but a Pro Champs title as well. Big win, 15-9 over Truck. For Keith Rayner, I'm Daniel Prentice. Thanks for tuning in.
Every time we press the license, we play better. Let's go, take down the trail.
An Ultiworld subscription gets you closer to the players and personalities you care about with game video, in-depth written and video analysis,
He's going to take off deep, but what he does is very simple.
documentary shorts,
And we've played Bird Squad before, and it just feels a little bit harder to lose this year.
and a whole lot more. To get your subscription or learn more, go to ultiworld.com/subscribe.